It's that time again. We're here to talk about the hypothetical matchup between Yuta Okkotsu and Hajime Kashimo, part 69. So for those of you unaware, there's this ongoing debate that's basically become a meme in our community about who would win between Okkotsu and Kashimo, right? I originally made a video on this saying that I thought Okkotsu would win, and ever since then we've kind of had some back and forth donations between the two sides asking me to, share their piece of information. Now, ultimately, I still think Okkotsu is going to win the matchup. But like I say every time, I'm not a power scaler. I'm not the person that's going to dive deep on feats and provide you like this nuanced list of why this person wins versus that person wins. I am just more of a narrative analysis type of guy, right? And so my gut instincts tell me that Okkotsu would ultimately win, more times out of 10 than Kashimo. I do think it's a very high difficulty fight, either way you slice it, but today we have another piece of evidence that I have been asked to present on behalf of Team Kashimo. So let's get into it. Also, I would hope this was obvious considering I'm talking about a character that has not even been introduced in the anime, but obviously spoilers if you're not caught up in the manga. So the feat Team Kashimo wants to bring to my and all of your attention is this panel here, where Sukuna shoots the dimensional dismantle and Kashimo ends up escaping with only this injury to his hand. The implication being that since Kashimo was mid-air when this happened, and he cannot perceive this slash, unlike, somebody like Maki, the only way he could have dodged this is if the slash first hit his hand, so then he knew where it was, right? And then he was fast enough to pull it out and away before it could, tear the rest of him apart. So essentially this is a speed feat up there with the best in the verse, at least the best in the verse with everybody not named Sukuna and Gojo, because they are clearly just on another level, right? Team Kashimo is saying this is more impressive than Maki's ability to fully dodge the slash because she can see it coming, right? Kashimo basically had to wait for it to hit him before he could start dodging. And here's what I'll say. Devil's advocate, I think there's some arguments to be poked in this potentially. This is a very vague, we go from this panel where you can't even see Kashimo to this injury to his hand. So I will say, for those on the other side of the fence, you could maybe say that, I'm not sure that this is necessarily that type of speed feat that you're describing. But for me, that's fine. I'll give Kashimo this speed feat that he was able to wait till it hit him, pull his hand back and away. So essentially making Kashimo faster than the world-cutting slash. I'm cool with that. Let's say that he is that fast. It doesn't change anything for me because I already thought Kashimo was faster than Okkotsu. It's just that I didn't value the singular stat of speed so much that I think he gets one over on Okkotsu. I think Okkotsu's enormous bag of all the different curse techniques, not to mention Rika herself, gives him enough of a edge to surpass Kashimo's speed. And again, the domain expansion, I think, if Okkotsu can ever get that off, make that happen, he just wins point blank, period. There's nothing Kashimo can do at that point. Now, you could say Kashimo's too fast, he won't get caught in it. Fine. I'm just saying if the domain lands, if that happens, it's an instant win condition. So Kashimo's win condition is speed blitzing. That's it. And he has to take Okkotsu out like with a headshot completely in one shot because he's one of the best at RCT in the verse. And again, not to mention Rika, it's basically a 2v1. So I just think Okkotsu has slightly more that gives him the advantage in an extremely high diff fight. Something I like to do, which I don't know if I did in my original Okkotsu video, is I don't like to just say, Okkotsu's going to win every single time. So out of 10 fights, I think it's very close, right? 6-4. So I just give Okkotsu the edge. We can say Kashimo's faster than the world cutting slash. I didn't really have a position on that beforehand. And again, obviously this video's feat is all about proving he's faster than the slash. I think that's fine. We can say that. I still don't think it makes a difference in my prior analysis. So I'm still going to give it to Okkotsu. And I know it's going to make my Kashimo fans out there mad, but, there's no hate. There's no shade. This is just my opinion. And I could be wrong. This is something we'll never find out the answer to, obviously. But I'm not presenting this as hard, cold facts. This is just my analysis, my opinion. I think Okkotsu's got a little bit more that's going to help him win just slightly more than Kashimo would. Anyways, y'all, that's going to do it for this installment of this debate. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments, not only on this matchup, but also on that speed feat. Do you agree with that interpretation, or did you see it differently? Last but not least, I gotta give a shout out to Kashimo Low Diffs Yuta for the sponsored video today. Thank you so much for the continued support, my friend. I'm sorry that I still haven't been swayed to the other side. Maybe one day Gege will shed some light on this in a fan book or in the volume extras and I'll have to eat crow. But until then, I still gotta go with the Kotsu. Anyways, y'all, I'll see you in the next one.